Let's pay homage to the lineage gurus. Homage to the Venerable Monk Liao Ming. Homage to Master Sakya Zhengkong. Homage to His Holiness the 16th Karmapa. And homage to Master Dukden Dorji. Let's pay homage to the three jewels of the altar. Homage to the main deity of Homa today, the Golden Mother with innumerable hands and infinite eyes of the primordial pond. Simu, Tansen Katso, Tutan Siddhi, all Dharma masters, Dharma educators, Dharma teachers, Dharma instructors, Dharma tutors, temple and center directors, all disciples present here and over the internet. Good afternoon, everyone. How do you do?
I stay. Sarange. Hola, amigo. Que mucho. Sugoi.
Ichiban. Kimochi.
Jumi. Happy. Pretty. Konnichiwa.现在通知大家，下个礼拜天5月
，which is September 24th,
下午3点
at 3 p.m.
这尊很少
This is very rare.
很少做过附魔的。
And we will perform Homo for this deity.
的附魔法会。
It's Saraswati,
她的名
the Buddha Mother with marvelous sound. She has many names.
是她的名称：天音、
A marvelous sound,
辩才、
heavenly sound, goddess of eloquence. Are all her names.
释迦牟尼佛住世的时候，
When Sakyamuni Buddha was alive
妙音国母
in the world, Saraswati
恒河的
was the goddess of the Ganges River.
牟尼佛住世的时候，
When Sakyamuni Buddha was alive in the world,
妙音
the Ganges River goddess was Saraswati or Lakshmi.
那么他们称她
And they
萨拉萨蒂
called her Saraswati.
应该来讲，在印度教
We should say
的
that
所有
in Hinduism,
中，
of all the devas and devis, or the gods, heavenly
天
gods,
俊天
they highly revere
天俊天，
the Vishnu,
韦斯奴是偏俊天，大梵天是布拉玛，
and Brahma,
再来是西瓦大自在天，
and Shiva, Mahaswara.
称为三大神。
They are the three major gods in Hinduism.
大神底下，
And underneath them,
马哈斯利亚
they are Mahashri,
大吉祥天，
Lakshmi. Sorry, Mahashri is Lakshmi.
妙音天，
And then also Saraswati,
另外还有
the goddess of eloquence,
雪山
and also
雪山神女
the snow mountain goddesses, Durga,
佛卡利，
Kali,
另外还有这个，还有一尊是猴神，
and the monkey god,
还有一尊是
Hanuman,
猴神，然后还有另外还有这个Ganesh，
and also Ganesh,
还是什么
the elephant trunk wolf deity.
其实印度教原本没有神。
So we have many Hindu gods. Those were the important ones.
那妙音天女在印度教里面很受尊
So Saraswati is highly revered in Hinduism.
敬，开天、
So
天、
that's the goddess of eloquence, goddess of marvelous sound. They all refer to Saraswati, the same deity.
那手印就是
Her mudra,
它都是
generally speaking, they are
那个叫琵琶吧，
she's playing a lute,
那手印
a musical instrument. So the mudra is like when you're playing the lute or the pipa instrument, and one hand is holding the lute instrument and the other one is like plucking on the string or the lute musical instrument.
拿着琵琶，一只手在
So one hand is holding the lute and the other hand is to play or to pluck on the strings of the lute instrument.
每天晚上啊，
That's Saraswati.
我就是有一尊萨拉萨蒂，
At home, I have Saraswati, and every night
楼上这个
on the upper floor,
我这个
on the lower floor of the Sun Mountain retreat,
第一尊现在供奉的又变不一样，
and the upper floor now it's different,
还是南无地藏王菩萨，
but the first one still Namo Siddhikarpa Bodhisattva,
是吉祥天，
and then Mahasri,
那再来呢，
and
释迦
then
牟尼佛，
Shakyamuni Buddha,
按照次序，
in order sequentially, and then Mahotara
观
Heruka,
世音菩萨，
and Avalokitesvara
观世
Bodhisattva,
音菩萨，
the hiking
再来
Avalokitesvara
就是
Bodhisattva,
萨拉萨蒂，
and then Saraswati.
萨拉萨蒂呢，
And
这
Saraswati,
边是阿弥陀佛，
on this side is
阿弥陀
Amitabha
佛旁
Buddha,
边是利度母，
and next to Amitabha Buddha is Green Tara,
另
White
外还有
Tara,
一尊珍宝金母，
and
再来是
Golden Mother. Zhenbao is the true
家的离
jeweled Golden Mother.
莲花
And then the Li Tongping Patriarch and Guru Padmasambhava.
千手千眼观世
So we newly added the thousand-armed, thousand-eyed Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva and Mahabala
跟
and Yamantaka and Akalanata.
再来是黑色的愤怒，
And the black wrathful Dakini.
然后再来是
And then
瑶池金母大天尊，
Golden Mother of the Primordial Pond,
莲华生大士，
Guru Padmasambhava, Amitabha Buddha, Vajrasattva,
金刚，
Yamantaka,
洞明王，
Akalanata,
下是所有的地神，
and then below, underneath are all the earth gods.
最高的
And
诸佛阿达尔玛
all the deities, the highest one would be the Adharma Buddha,
一起抽
the
高，
Primordial Buddha, and then Ishichogal,
到了房间呢是十人金
And then into my room, the Kalachakra Buddha, Golden Mother of Primordial Pond, and the Tiger Head Vajra. And I refer to all the deities on the lower ground. So that's the how I enshrine them at the Southern Mountain retreat. And so I just refer to all the deities on the lower ground. Otherwise, there would be endless. And then also all the deities in the refuge tree. And all the deities in the refuge tree. If we refer to them one by one, that would be endless too. Every night I would chant them all. So Saraswati is in front of our Lokitesvara Bodhisattva. So I don't go from big to small. Otherwise, the highest one would be the Adharma Buddha, or the primordial Buddha. That's the highest level. That's at home. Every night, prior to going to bed, I would call on them all. And when I get to my own bedroom, then to Golden Mother of the Primordial Pond and the Tiger Head Vajra, I would pray to them. And then I use the Kala Chakra and the 16 and 6 Jia divine mantra to set protection. And then I would get on bed to go to sleep. And then during sleep, I would perform the sleep light protection practice. So every night, I have to perform so much before bed. So the prayer, my last prayer every night is to Golden Mother of the Primordial Pond and the Tiger Head Vajra. These two deities are the last I prayed to. And then Kalachakra Buddha and the 16 6 Jia divine mantra for the protection. And then when I get on bed, I close my eyes and I start the practice of the sleep and light protection practice during sleep. And after I complete that, I would enter into sweet dreams, sleeping. During the night, typically I wake up once or twice, and that's normal. If you have more than 3 times, there would be frequent urination. So typically speaking, I would wake up once or twice during the night, and that's normal because I drink too much water. So of course I need to go. So Saraswati is someone that I would call upon every day. So you gain spiritual union with this deity, and your tongue will be very vivacious, very lively. So what's going on? Then you have unhindered eloquence. Once you gain spiritual union with this deity, then you would be like Vimalakirti. He's number 1 in debates. Nobody can win over him. He can debate from bottom up or top down, from left to the right or right to the left. And he's always right. Doesn't matter how he says it. It's always right. So in a while, we'll read the Vimalakirti Sutra and you'd know that sentient beings is the place of practice. That Saha world is the place of practice. So why are sentient beings place of practice? Because they are sentient beings. Therefore, you recognize that sentient beings turn out to be the aggregates of the four basic elements. And to let you know that everything is pindagraha or aggregates. So you know with sentient beings that they are all aggregates, that everything is illusory and dreamlike. Therefore, we say that sentient beings are the place of practice. So don't we say about a renunciation mind? In Tantrayana, the most important thing, I think it's spoken by Tsongkhapa. First, you have to have the mind of renunciation, the mind of bodhicitta, or aspiration for enlightenment, and then the middle view. Tsongkhapa said these three most important things: the mind of renunciation, the mind of for enlightenment, and the middle way. So the mind of renunciation is you want to renounce the Saha world, to abandon sentient beings. So, but there's cause and effect here. The sentient beings are the cause for Buddhahood. In order to attain Buddha Dharma, then that's the cause. So without sentient beings, how can you become a Buddha? So therefore, without worldly things, how can they be transcending the world? That's why sentient beings are a place of practice. So you come here not only to eradicate or redeem your karma, but also you come to the Saha world to eradicate your karma from past lives. But because in Saha world, for you to see through the Saha world, that's why you have the mind of renunciation. That's why sentient beings are also the place of practice, spoken in the Vimalakirti Sutra. So the Buddha comes from the world. So in order to become a Buddha, you need to go through the training of sentient beings. So Saraswati, during Sakyamuni Buddha's era, she was the goddess of the Ganges River. Is this deity important? Of course. If you want to become popular with fan of millions of people, then you have to have good voice. I know in mainland China there's what's that show? Good China Voices or something. Good Voices from China. I have watched it once. There was something from the CCTV. It's called Chinese Love or Chinese Connection. Oh, it's called it's called City News now. So it's a central TV. That's good voice, good Chinese voice. then if you want to have good voice, then she is the main deity, Saraswati. So in the future, once you gain spiritual union with this deity, even if you don't go to the heaven of marvelous sound, but she would give a new marvelous sound, that would be incredible. Yeah, you would be like a Zhou when he's on the stage. As soon as he starts to sing, all the girls would faint and go hysterical, shrieking and shouting and fainting. So, is his voice really that great? He's relying on Saraswati. He earned a lot of money, hundreds of millions in one performance, from one performance. And Grandmaster's been shouting for so long. All I got is $2, $5, $1. But they just sing and maybe dance around, and wow, shocked me. And tons of money. Really, the great singers, when they perform, they get hundreds of millions of dollars. In the past, I sang a song. We have a little girl called Yuan Yuan and Fang Fang. And the bigger sister is called Yuan Yuan, and the younger sister is called Fang Fang. They're little girls, and I used to sing with them. But I've forgotten. I love Yan Yuan. Yan Yuan loves me. For me? What's so big deal about Lin Zilin? And then she would sing, I love Grandmaster, and Grandmaster loves me. As for me, what's so big deal about Jay Cho? We used to sing like this. I love Yuan Yuan, and Yuan Yuan loves me. So for me, what's so big deal about Lin Zilin? So, the marvelous sound. We should have sang. But I can only sing lullaby. Let me sing a lullaby for you. A lullaby. In the past, I also sang Planting Stars. There are many stars in the sky. Which ones are your eyes? If you believe that that they love you, then you are planting stars, then you would be the happiest person. Perhaps after next Sunday that I gain spiritual union with Saraswati, that would be a third. If you gain spiritual response with Saraswati, then you would really have the best voice globally, the world's best voice. Really, this deity can tame and harmonize people's hearts and minds. When she produces voice, then people will believe her. Her eloquence is unhindered. People that do not have good hearts can have their hearts changed by hearing her voice and becomes good, becomes virtuous. So there are many benefits to this deity, not just having good voice, but also eloquence, and which is to transform the hearts, minds of sentient beings from bad to good, from adversity to favorable. You can change sentient beings and can deliver them. Therefore, this deity is also very important. Don't think just to have good voice. And then you don't become primary supplicants because you look down on them. But no, by producing the voice, then everyone will hear, would listen to her or them. Saraswati, the mantra, is very direct, the name mantra. Om Saraswati Soha. This is a really beautiful goddess. Practicing this deity, the man will become handsome, and the woman would be as beautiful as the goddesses. Everything is perfect. Although she may not be your yidam, but if you indirectly practice her, as soon as you receive her blessing, then you can tame the minds or hearts of sentient beings. So today we talk about the Golden Mother with innumerable hands and infinite eyes. So, in terms of Golden Mother, we can say that this deity with innumerable hands and infinite eyes are the greatest. Like thousand arm, thousand eye, Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva. That's her mantra of the thousand arm, thousand eye, Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva. And for the Golden Mother, it's Om Jimo Siddhi Dhammo Se. So they are interrelated. And her mudra. Look. At the center, Golden Mother. The middle fingers touching. And then the other fingers. The innumerable Buddha hands. And on each of the hands, there are the uji, or infinite eyes. It has the same meaning as thousand armed, thousand eyed Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva. The thousand armed, thousand eyed Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva belongs to the level 11th. So after the 10 grounds of Bodhisattvahood, on the 11th ground, it's considered Buddhahood. So it's already at the Buddha ground. And of course, Golden Mother with innumerable hands and infinite eyes are also on the Buddha ground. And there's no need to say more about the power, Dharma power. Innumerable tens of thousands of hands. Every night I perform the 1,000 Dhamma vessel Bardo deliverance. So the 1,000 Dhamma vessels, no big deal, right? Compared to the tens of thousands. Maybe I should change them to tens of thousands of Dhamma vessels. Because the thousands Dhamma vessels have changed to countless, from 1 to 10 to 100 to 1,000, and then to 10 of 1,000. But that would be too much. Thousands is good enough. The innumerable hands and eyes would observe all the 10 directions. 10 directions means everywhere. So the 10 directional chapter, that's a center. So that's the smallest one, right? For us, it's like from temples to center, to chapters, and then to centers. But his name is 10 Directional Dharma Center. So the 4 cardinal directions, north, south, east, and west, and then the 4 intermediate directions, and then up and above, zenith and nadir. So that's the whole universe. So although that's a small Dharma Center, but actually it's the same as the whole universe. But don't regard Master Changren's Dharma Center as small. The center seems small, but the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas are huge. and magnificent. And they are big and magnificent. There's Sangarama and Skanda and Sangarama. After they sculpted these deities, they brought them to their center, but they could not fit in. And because of that, they sent them to here, the Rainbow Temple, benefited from them. So Sangarama and Skanda. So you also sculpted 2 huge ones and going to send them to the Southern Mountain Retreat. Just a little bit big. Then I can accept them. But when they're too big, we need so many people and strength to be able to move them in. The one at my home is about as big as this one, Mahabala. This big. It's as soon as I open the front door, and if there's a thief at night, they would be weak all over. They thought they'll see a ghost. That's Mahabala. And then next to him here is Yamantaka and Akalanata over there. And they're huge. And every night when I pass by them, I would be scared a little bit. And my youngest granddaughter, Lu In, she's just 1. She's 1 year old. Her birthday just passed. And her name, her English name is Alice. So Alice is 1. She was celebrating her 1-year-old birthday. That's the daughter of Ho Ching. And we brought her to Mahabala, and the little kid was not afraid, and she looked and then used her hand to touch his nail. Because he's never seen a ghost before. So she's not afraid of him at all. She's just touching him, touching the deity. So when she was 1, we asked her to pick something to pick. And you know what she picked? It was a space shuttle. Wow, oh my heavens. So how come she picked the space shuttle out of all the different items? We placed many different things, but she picked the space shuttle just to be a scientist. We all think that means to be a scientist, but my thinking is different. That's to go to the heavens, right? So I really want my youngest granddaughter, Lu In, to capture her to study Buddha Dharma and to sit next to me since little and to learn Buddha Dharma and made a lama robe for her and then shave her hair and then wear a triangular hat. However, I still need permission from her parents. Actually, it's wonderful to study Buddha Dharma, to learn Buddhism. Because to study Buddha Dharma, then you can truly understand human life. If you don't study Buddhism or Buddha Dharma, then you don't know what human life is about. We all know there's benefit in studying Buddha Dharma. That human life is not just about earning money. You know, from kindergarten all the way to university, college, and then you got doctorate degree, or perhaps even higher postgrad or academician, or several PhD, and for what? For money, right? So why did you study so much? Isn't it just for money anyway? For family, they also need money. In America, everything needs money, especially when you're sick. Jennifer's husband was sick one time, was sent into the emergency. Jennifer's here, right here. So husband was sick then and sent to the emergency. And only for a few days. And you know what was the hospital bill? Wow, 240,000. 250,000. Oh, I missed by 10,000. 250,000. Wow. You can't afford to be sick in America. So the insurance, health insurance, national health insurance in Taiwan, that's really good. That even when you go back and stay in the hospital, and it's not much money, but here, just a few days, $250,000. We can't afford to be sick in America. We don't dare to be sick. Really, really scary. Everything is about money. If being sick, you need money. And to eat, having some soup, getting on the bus, anything, all the daily lives need money. Daily activities need money. However, if you don't understand Buddha Dharma, you don't know what your life is all about. Is it just about money? Is it really just about money? No. Buddha Dharma has taught you not just for money, not for money. Although you can do whatever you want when you have money, but when you don't have money, you have to accept your faith. So we say that you can resolve issues, 99% of the problems with money, but the remaining 1%, you just need more money. But yet you still don't understand the meaning of human life. Therefore, Buddha Dharma is still the most important. It's very important to cultivate spiritually. Innumerable hands and eyes. And for purification, enrichment, magnetization, subjugation, those are the most important. And she has great Dharma power. Today we will continue on the Vimalakirti Sutra, because these few things are easier to explain. The things that Vimalakirti spoke to the light-adorned youth is easier to explain. Loving kindness is the place of practice. We chant Sakyamuni Buddhas. Sakyamuni Buddha's mantra. Moni, Moni. Moni actually means loving kindness or benevolent. The benevolent was a translation from Moni and also means loving kindness. Loving kindness is the place of practice because it treats all sentient beings equally. So sentient beings are equal to you. So by helping yourself, you're helping sentient beings. By helping sentient beings, you're helping yourself. Sentient beings are you, and you are sentient beings. We are all equal. We are in the Saha world. Primarily is to do the work of giving. This loving kindness, I love to say this, that loving kindness is to give happiness to others, to sentient beings. That's loving kindness. And that is the place of practice. You can give people happiness but never give people suffering. I have one principle, that I never sue anyone, because when I file a lawsuit, I give the other party suffering, and that's because of the loving kindness. I can only give people happiness and not suffering. If I give people suffering, then I'm not loving or kind. You have to give happiness to others. How can you sue others? You'd rather be sued than suing others. That's how I am. That's the vow I made. I would never sue anyone. See, because when you sue others, you give them suffering. In the past, Master Lian Ji from Taiwan, it's extreme, I mean the meaning of the Chinese word. And he said, Grandmaster, you're not wrong, you're not right. You will suffer. That you don't sue others, but others will sue you instead. And they will bully you, and what would you do then? And I said, fine. If people wants to bully me, let them do that. I still cannot give suffering to others. Therefore, loving kindness is the place of practice, as it treats all sentient beings equally. You want to give others happiness. That's the meaning of loving kindness. Compassion is the place of practice, as it tolerates hardships and sufferings. And let me tell you, compassion is to alleviate other people's sufferings. So you resolve their sufferings. Loving kindness is to give happiness. Compassion is to resolve others' sufferings, to help others so that they don't suffer anymore. That's compassion. So to uproot their sufferings. And joy is the place of practice, because you cultivate spiritually, you give, and that would give you joy. You would feel joyous. And not only you feel joyous, and sentient beings also learn from you, and they also give, and they will also feel the joy. So that's boundless joy from the four immeasurables. When you meditate, like Guru Padmasambhava said, in meditation, then you would receive the joy of Dharma. In spiritual cultivation, you would receive Dharma joy. In meditation, you would receive Dharma joy. In giving, sentient beings would be happy and you would be joyful in giving, and then sentient beings learn from you and they also give, and then everybody would be joyous. So joy is the place of practice, and it takes pleasure in the Dharma. If you like Buddha Dharma, you would be joyful. Equanimity is the place of practice, as it severs attachments and aversions. I often talk about impartial equanimity. It's not that you only give to those you like and not give to those you dislike. No such thing. You treat friends and foes equally. You also give to those you despise, or also those that you like. You also want to give to the beautiful ones or the ugly ones, or the old and the sick and the handicapped. You want to give them. You want to give to the old and the sick and the handicapped. You want to give them all. It's not that, oh, this is a beautiful lady. Truly beautiful. Really like her. Oh, but you're so dirty. Then you don't like it. No, you want to like them all equally and give to them. So, to treat equally friends and foes, likes and dislikes. So equanimity is the place of practice, and everything is equal, everyone is equal. So toward the old, with all pock marks and old marks and wrinkles, like toads and frogs. There are two frogs who are getting married, and they give birth to a toad. What's going on? And then the female frog confessed to the husband, sorry, I had plastic surgery. She was a toad before. So you cannot just treat the frogs nice, but mistreat the toads. So you need to treat them both equally, impartially, toward the old, the sick, the handicapped. We want to treat them or give to them equally and deliver them equally. These are the four immeasurable or the four boundless minds: loving kindness, compassion, joy, and equanimity. Transcendent power is the place of practice, as they are the accomplishments of the sixfold supernatural powers. So transcendent power is the place of practice. So 6 supernatural powers, the ability to see, to hear, to know past lives, to travel, and then the complete outflow of all afflictions. So transcendent power is the place of practice, because when you reach a realm in your spiritual cultivation, you would naturally have transcendent powers. Then you would know about the past, because the 3 times are the same, are one. You know about the past lives, the present life, and the future lives. So that's the transcendent power of knowing all lives. And then the transcendent power of seeing, and you can see the 3,000 great thousand worlds and all the worlds. And you can hear everything in the worlds, in all the worlds. That's the transcendent power of celestial ears. And then you can travel everywhere. Oh, and also the transcendent power of knowing others' minds. Like Sakyamuni Buddha knew what Sariputra was thinking about. And when Vimalakirti had the thought, Sakyamuni Buddha immediately knew. So that's the transcendent power of knowing what's in other people's mind. And the most important one is the transcendent power of complete outflow. That's the most important one. So this transcendent power refers to the complete outflow, that it's complete, all afflictions have been completely outflowed or leaked out. Why you have no afflictions? Because you have no cares and concerns in your hearts and minds. Because otherwise, if you have even a little bit of concern, then you would have afflictions. Therefore, the most important one of the 6 transcendent power is the transcendent power of complete outflow. So when you have attainment, when you have become a Buddha, or when you have reached the highest bodhisattvahood, then you would have transcendent power of complete outflow without any afflictions at all. Anything is fine. You have no cares or concerns at all in your hearts and minds. And that's the reasons of the 6 supernatural powers. So transcendent power is the place of practice, and once you have the transcendent power of complete outflow, you have become a Buddha. You have an attainment then. So this complete outflow means you have no cares and concerns. You're very free and unhindered and liberated. I haven't shared any jokes today. Let me share a joke. The wife told the husband, a next door neighbor, the husband would kiss his wife every time before he goes out. But how about you? How come you never do that? So the wife said that the husband next door always kisses his wife every time before they go out. But the husband replies, but I don't know her. Why should I kiss her? So the husband was too oblivious. There is a glib wife that every time she talks on the phone, it'll take over 2 hours. Then the husband finds that she should just have a telephone, and now the husband, she can just hug the phone for hours. And one time, a phone came, and then she only spoke for half an hour. And the husband was very curious, so where was the call from? And she said, oh, that was the wrong number. So wrong number, it's still half an hour. The 3-year-old boy was disobedient, and the mom said, if you're not obedient, I would kick you out and then pick up another son. And the son said, the kid that you would pick will not listen to you either, because he must be discarded by his mom too. If you a young woman asked the Zen master that the world is chaotic now. How can a weak woman like me protect myself? And the Zen master did not say anything, just pour the water on her face. And the lady asked just to keep cool, to face everything in the world. And the Zen master shook his head. It's just keep without heavy makeup is fine enough. Don't put on such a heavy makeup. This is a Taiwanese joke. We went to Yong'an fish seafood place for dinner, and the mom was peeling some shrimps for the son, and the son asked the mom, but the little shrimp cannot go home anymore. Would the mother's shrimp be sad? So the mom stopped, because it was such a kind question. But the boss came out and said, don't worry, because all these little shrimps, they are all here. The whole family is here. Oh, money, pay me home.